Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to talk about the month of February for the New York Knicks because we are officially in March. It is March 1st, and I kind of want to recap what the New York Knicks did in the month of February, which was go 9-5 and solidify themselves as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference as I'm recording this video, and they are now 18-17 on the season. Before I hop into the video, I just want to mention if you guys want to subscribe to the channel and you're not already, please make sure you do so, and if you guys want to check me out over on Instagram and Twitter, you know where to find me at nyknicks_media, and do not forget to hit that thumbs up button if you guys enjoy. With that being said, let's jump right in. So as we stand today, the New York Knicks are second in the league in defensive rating. The New York Knicks defense is first in the league in opponents' points scored. And that is just absolutely absurd to think about up until this point, especially that Mitchell Robinson has been injured and we're still winning without him. I can't even imagine what we'd be doing if Mitchell was healthy, because the one problem that we're going to deal with is Taj Gibson's out with an injury. So Nerlens Noel is our only healthy big man, and he has been playing such good defense, and he is a big reason why we are so good defensively. We were so good defensively with Mitch because we had Mitch in the starters and then Nerlens as the backup, so we consistently had a really borderline elite rim protector in the game throughout the entire 48 minutes. But now Taj Gibson is injured, so he did his thing. Taj Gibson's more of an offensive big man, but he definitely held his own in the defensive end when he was playing off the bench, and I loved Gibson's minutes, but he's injured as we speak. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but it's just ridiculous that we're this good defensively still, and we're second in the NBA in rating and first in opponents' points scored. This New York Knicks team is really that good under Coach Thibodeau. He deserves so much credit. And on one player I want to talk about who had a very good month of February is RJ Barrett, because he finished the month of February shooting the ball 47.4% from downtown. I mean, look at these shots that he's making. They're all in the corner. They're all beautifully done. I feel like every single one of them are from catch and shoot balls, and they're all assists from Derrick Rose, from Immanuel Quickley, Julius Randle. RJ Barrett is getting more comfortable beyond the arc, and that is such a big thing about RJ Barrett's game, because we all knew that RJ's game when we drafted him is he's a slasher. He can get to the rim with ease and, bully people down low and finish through contact and finish at the rim. And we always thought if he can develop a mid-range and three-point jump shot down the line, then he's going to have a really bright future. And that's exactly what he's doing. And his sophomore season is so interesting because he started the year off, as we all know, opening night against the Pacers, he went 3 for 3 from downtown. And we thought like, oh, okay, RJ's going to have a breakout season from beyond the arc. And then he follows that up with missing 21 straight, goes in a crazy dry spell, and he gets his three-point percentage all the way down in the low 20s. And there's some Knicks fans that were writing him off. RJ Barrett's a bust. Someone on YouTube said that he should be sent down to the G League. There's a lot of crazy takes about RJ when he was playing really bad. And to be fair, RJ was playing so bad where he deserves some, hate, but I don't think that Knicks fans should have went too harsh on him. Me personally, I knew that RJ was going to break out of it. I had no concerns, but at the same time, I was totally aware that RJ was slumping it up. And there's still times today where RJ has on and off games, and there's some games where he just cannot buy a bucket and he feels a little rattled, and then he bounces back with a great 21-point performance and shows up in the clutch. That's what RJ Barrett's so good at and so unique, because he's a 20-year-old, he's the youngest player on the team, and he has the mental toughness to push through that adversity. Do you know how easy it is for a 20-year-old to just really lose his confidence in himself after missing 21 straight three-pointers or just having like a 4-game stretch of looking terrible? Not every 20-year-old can get through that mentally, especially in the New York market, because we have Knicks fans, not every Knicks fan at all, but there's some handful of Knicks fans that are just thinking he's a bust after 4 straight games of being bad, and he sees all of it. But he pushes through that. RJ Barrett in the last couple games is proving to be a really good player in the clutch as well. He borderline won us that game against Indiana. I don't care that he missed those 2 free throws. RJ Barrett came in the game down 5 points, and it was like 4 minutes left in the game, hits a three-pointer, gets a defensive stop on the other end, RJ does, and then one converts the free throw. That's a 6-point swing right there. And then the next possession, he dishes it to Julius Randle in the corner, and then the next possession, RJ gets a clutch layup. So he's showing up in the clutch, and he's going to get better and better. We have not even come close to RJ Barrett's peak. He's only 20 years old, and he's only going to get better throughout the season. So that's one player I definitely want to talk about, because him shooting 47% from 3 in the month of February is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure his three-point percentage for the season is all the way up to 35%. That's insane. To be honest with you guys, I was not expecting it. When he was in the dry spell and he was shooting the ball from like 24% from downtown, I was like, all right, maybe RJ's three-point game is not going to be there this year. That's going to be something he needs to work on down the line. But I was wrong. He developed it this season, and his jump shot looks so smooth with those catch and shoot shots. So the next player I want to talk about that played a phenomenal month of February is our all-star Julius Randle. He continues to prove to be an all-star. His month of February and his entire 2021 season is a thing of beauty, man. The resurgence of Julius, his story is so awesome. I love that in his first year on the Knicks, he didn't play his best game. He always said in the interview with JJ Redick, I don't know if you guys saw that on JJ Redick's podcast, but he had Julius Randle on there, and we saw a really good side of Julius. It's like kind of like who Julius really is, and he said that he needed a year with the Knicks and understanding his role and understanding the city of New York, and he thinks that without him playing like he did last year, he would not improve on it. So that's a positive, and I think that Knicks fans, we were on top of Julius last year, as we should. I mean, we are very passionate fan base, and we're going to be critiquing him, and he understood that. He had no wrong with it, and he used that as fuel to break out this year. And wow, I cannot believe how good Julius Randle is. He is a 3-level scorer. He's shooting 42% from downtown as we speak. That is absurd. He shot the ball like 28% from downtown last year, I believe, so that is a ridiculous improvement. He also has a money mid-range shot, and he can create his own shot, which is the best part about it. He gets the ball on the baseline, isolation, jab step back, fade away, mid-range, contested, and he drills it like 8 times out of 10, it feels like, and he can post you down low. He's a bully. He can get in the paint and do a fadeaway baby jumper. He has so much versatility to his game, and the best part about Julius, that is the new dimension of his game, is his ability to get his teammates involved, his playmaking ability. And I always notice the first quarter of every game, Julius is not looking to score. He's looking to get his teammates involved, pass the rock, and then he knows that he'll get to his spots and score the ball down the line. And that's basically what's been happening for the past week or so. Julius starts off besides the game against the Hawks when he dropped 44, he dropped like 17 in the first quarter. Other than that night, Julius doesn't like to score in the first quarter. Obviously, he's going to try, but he likes to sit back, pass it to Reggie for 3, give it to RJ, D Rose. He wants to be, the playmaker, and he is leading the Knicks in every single category on the offensive end. He's leading them in points scored per game, which is 23.4. He has 10.9 rebounds per game and 5.5 assists. Those 3 are leading the Knicks in all categories, which is a thing of beauty, man. Julius Randle is the engine of this team, and he is the reason why we are currently the 4th seed in the East. He's the big reason why. He is our leader, our vocal leader. He's only 26, and I'm so happy that Julius Randle has blossomed into an all-star, and he looks like he's going to be a long-term Knick. I cannot imagine the Knicks even considering moving him. We still have him under contract for around $18 million next year. We have a team option, so he'll be here next year, and then expect him to talk about an extension later on. If he continues this play, I don't think it's a question. He is the definition of a Tom Thibodeau player. He's versatile as that. He literally has every single trait you want at that 4 spot, the power forward position in today's NBA. He can pass it. He can shoot from beyond the arc. He can play some defense. He locked down Sabonis. He's doing everything we want. He can push the ball in transition, pass it at an elite level all of a sudden. He's doing everything. Crash the boards. It's ridiculous. I don't think there's one asset to Julius's game that he's lacking right now, and I definitely want to talk about him. And another player let's talk about in the month of February is Derrick Rose. We acquired Derrick Rose, obviously, this month, I believe. And ever since we got him, the Knicks have an extremely good record. I don't know the exact record. It could be like 7-3 or something like that. But when we acquired D Rose, wow, what a trade by Leon Rose and Wild West and, everybody. Scott Perry, everybody involved, getting Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round pick. They deserve a lot of credit, because without Derrick Rose coming to the Knicks, I don't think we're doing this well, because we needed a veteran point guard that can get his teammates involved, and he's versatile. He can play with both units. He could play with the first unit or the second unit, and he's been filling in beautifully for Elfrid Payton so far, and I made a whole video about how I think Derrick Rose is the perfect point guard to unlock RJ Barrett's potential, and ever since D Rose came to the Knicks, RJ Barrett is shooting the ball extremely efficiently from downtown, like I mentioned earlier on the video, and I think that's a big reason, because D Rose is finding him the ball. I broke it down in my other video, so I'm not going to get deep into it, but if you look up RJ Barrett's highlights in the past 10 or so games and seeing all of his three-pointers, like 80% of those are assists set up from Derrick Rose. He has a knack of finding RJ in rhythm, and RJ Barrett needs somebody to give him the ball because he is good at catch and shoot three-pointers. That's how he can shoot the ball beyond the arc. Elfrid Payton never gives him the ball as much as D Rose does, and that's why we're seeing a new dimension of RJ. So that Derrick Rose trade, the guy that can come in here and instill the Tom Thibodeau system. He's been there, done that with Tibbs for 2 different teams. He's been to the playoffs with Tibbs with 2 different teams. He's the former MVP, the youngest MVP in NBA history. Him coming to the Knicks is so awesome because he's 32 years old, and 32 years old's not that old. You know, you're a veteran. You're an established veteran. There's players like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. They're all in their low 30s. Like, they're in their prime of their career right now. They're still playing at an elite level. Derrick Rose, he's not going to be back to his elite MVP type of ways, but what he's doing right now, he's evolved into a leadership role, and he understands that his duty here is not to score 30 points a game. It's to provide a spark and get everybody playing together and get your teammates involved and getting a bucket. I mean, he's been putting up really good numbers so far on the Knicks. So Derrick Rose, definitely want to talk about him. And another player I want to talk about is Immanuel Quickley. He's still proving to be the steal of the draft. He is just lighting it up whenever he gets the opportunity to play. It's ridiculous. Like last night, for example, against the Detroit Pistons, he had a shaky first half, 0 for 5 from downtown, and then he had that crazy 3-point play where he got fouled, and I don't know how he got that call. I don't think rookies usually get those calls, but IQ does, so I'm not complaining, and he hits all 3, and then he goes into the game late in the third quarter, 0 for 5 from the field, and then he just lights it up. I mean, he has like back-to-back threes, a floater, and these threes are not just like wide open threes. They're threes that he's creating himself. He's sidestepping, step back contested threes, drilling them. So he's a flamethrower off the bench. Immanuel Quickley continues to prove to be a guy that Knicks fans are going to be behind, and he's a revelation, and he's everything that we needed, honestly. I've always said, why can't the Knicks ever strike gold in the draft? I feel like we did with Mitchell Robinson. That was somebody that we did because he was a second-round pick. But when are we going to get somebody late in the first that just lights up the league? And that's exactly what Immanuel Quickley's doing. So I'm excited for that. Another player I want to talk about is Alec Burks. I think Alec Burks is providing a good spark off the bench so far. He's been having shaky games. Some games he goes off. Some games he doesn't do that well. But he's been getting more in rhythm. And he is such a big part to this offense off the bench because this Knicks team is more of a defensive-minded squad, right? We're top 2 in the league. And we're not an offensive-centered team. We kind of get buckets off of our defense, and we try to win games by just outworking you, and that's okay. Alec Burks, he's been providing a very consistent spark off the bench. He's a microwave. He can just light it up for 20 points, or he'll be a little shaky. I feel like if he can get more consistent and we can see Alec Burks start putting up 10 to 15 points per game off the bench, that is a huge positive. So that's really all my breakdown of today's video. I wanted to just give you guys a summarization of the month of February because a lot of stuff happened, whether that's RJ Barrett lighting it up from downtown, Julius Randle becoming an all-star, Immanuel Quickley proving to be the steal of the draft, the Knicks being top 2 in defensive rating, the Knicks still being that good at defense with Mitchell Robinson on the bench because of Nerlens and Noel. There's a lot that I talked about in this video. Let me know some of your takes down below and how excited you are for the Knicks because this is a great time to be a Knicks fan. We are back and relevant again. There's still a long season ahead of us, so we have to realize that, and there's a big crazy schedule awaiting us, so you never know what can happen, but let's ride with this positive energy and let's go Knicks. If you guys stayed until the end, comment down below a Statue of Liberty emoji, and do not forget to hit the thumbs up button if you did not already. Let's go Knicks. Peace.